Hello everybody, welcome to Endless BMW Projects. This is part 3 of my BMW e30 convertible project. So in this video I will be showing how I removed all the trim pieces in the car, some of the weather stripping material and door panels. As you know, the day before it rained, so I had to stop working. That's why I had to cut the video short. This video will be a little bit longer because it covers a lot of parts. I started with the left door's trim. There's an 8mm nut located inside the car. That's the first thing you have to do in order to remove that trim. As always, use a plastic trim remover and start prying it out. You have to be careful not to be too aggressive with it, otherwise you can break some clips. The same thing is for the rear part of the trim. It's a little bit trickier because the little plastic nut is behind the wheelbase. Once again, this is also an 8mm nut. This took a while, but one thing that you have to keep in mind is that where the nut is, that's where you pull it out. Once you do that, it's easier to take out the rest of the clips. If you notice where I took the trim previously, there's a different kind of clip. That clip acts like a lock, so you have to pull the trim away from that clip. It'll make it easier to remove. For the fender, it's quite easy. You just have to pull it away. There's no clips grabbing onto it. For the bottom trim, all the clips were cracked, so I just went ahead and pulled away the trim. I will have to buy new clips for all that lower part. Had to do the same thing for the other side of the car, but in this case, as you know, that I had a little accident, so that whole fender was bent. I want to rescue the little trim piece, and I was gonna use a heat gun to bend that rubber back. I did the same thing for the other door. I took that 8mm plastic nut out of there. And I went ahead and removed the trim after. Once again, pull away and then pry it out. Shortly, I will be showing you how to remove those clips from the door. Next was the door panel and trim clip removal. Notice that I'm removing as many pieces as possible out of the car because when you take a car to the body shop, you want to reduce the amount of parts that need to be covered by tape or wrapped in paper. Usually what they do in conventional body shops is if you leave anything out that it doesn't need to be painted, they just cover it with tape. and it really doesn't look good. So you want to get an even spray, so expose as much metal as possible. First thing I did was to remove the 2 screws located on the armrest. This door panel was previously removed, so it was really easy for me to take off. There you can see how I removed the clips. These clips are a little bit tricky because they have a little cylinder that goes inside the hole. So what I did, I went with a little hammer and a screwdriver and I pushed that cylinder out. Next goes the weather strip. I lower the window and then access it through the inside part of the car. This is a little bit tricky and you have to be careful not to bend the clips or scratch your paint. So once again, I use my plastic trim remover. One thing I recommend is that after you take the weather strip out, make sure that you reattach those clips to the weather strip in case you don't want to lose those clips. This is really too easy to bend, so I noticed that the mirror was blocking me from getting that whole chrome trim out. And then I had to remove the tweeter and the mirror. Just gently pry it out. You can disconnect the tweeter there. The mirror has 2 8mm bolts, if I'm correct. Once I was done with that, then I was able to remove the trim piece out. The other door trim is located on the upper part next to the windshield, and that was really easy. Try not to use a screwdriver for this. You have to gently and evenly pull the trim away from you. Next was the rear panel and window trim removal. I lowered the rear window first. Next I used my screwdriver to take those little screws out. I believe there's 4 on the speaker and then 1 on the door panel. After that, grab a 17mm socket. It's a big socket, and you have to disconnect the seatbelt. Sorry about the lighting, I couldn't get a better picture out of this. Once you're done with that, then you can carefully slide the seatbelt through that hole and then pull the door panel. Be careful that the speaker can get in the way. Once you're done with that, then you can access the inner part of the weather stripping. So I gently pulled it away. This can easily bend, so try not to be too forceful with this. Then I took the chrome trim out. I just wanted to show you the back view of this. Once again, remove all the clips that you can and put them back to where they were with the trim. There's a little technique. I put the screwdriver in the clip and with a plastic trim remover, I pry it out. Finally, the last part was to remove the trim out of the convertible lid. That was really easy to remove, so there was nothing too special about it. And that was it. That was the end of day 3, and my car was ready to get painted. Please leave any comments or suggestions on the video below. Also, if you would like to watch the other days, please click on the links that are going to be shown right now. While I wait for my car to get painted, I will be working on my broken fog lights. I have ordered an extra set of lenses and I will be showing how to remove and replace broken fog lights. Thanks for watching.